What you see on the screen is the week 6 tailgate where we just finished. Well, I just finished grading it or grading at it, uh, and you each scored a. I'm talking to Dylan Monarch and Dresden Thornton. Mainly, I singled you two out because you you do well in your information. The problem is I don't know if it's relevant to the questions or the prompts, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm going to take a minute of your time and try to show you what I'm talking about in this little video, if I can figure out how to get it loaded in an inbox deal. But go, take a look up here. You see the title, and then it's just like some directions, compare and contrast. Uh, it says I'll need 3 responses: initial, first response to another student, and second. And there's only 2 of them. So when we come across this again, uh, well, I'll show you when I get to it. Then there's some background that it talks about here, and then there's this article. And to answer even the initial post, you're going to have to read this article. It really breaks it down for you in the format I think that I have asked these questions. But at any rate, what we need to do is where it says initial post right here, and I'm going to pull up Dylan here, and Dredgen, you're down here. So right here, you should have typed initial post. And since we have the initial post is asking 3 different questions, you don't have to repeat the questions, just put initial post 1 and do it like, where is it? Like 1 parentheses or half parentheses or just 1, 2, and 3. And answer this question. You don't have to repeat the question, but like I say, type initial post and then drop down and say 1 and give me the answer to that question. 2, give me the answer to that question. And 3, give me the answer to that question. Okay. And so the same thing goes for you, Dresden, right here, initial post. And you start out talking about the choice and you go on, and all of this is pretty good information. The problem is I can't tell where you're answering specifically these specific questions, and that's part of the deal here. I'm sure I'm just not going to take the time to sort all this out like 1, 2, 3, just like I did talking to pointing out Dylan's deal. Here, Dresden, you should put initial post. And then in this case, just say 1 and answer this first question that it asks. Which system do you think is more beneficial in site preparation? Well, probably the 3D, but why? Because it would cover any kind of situation. However, this question too, how might budget constraints? You see, it just kind of flows. Then it's time to talk about the 2D being appropriate for simpler jobs and 3D for more complex jobs, and you could have talked about it there. And don't just say that 2D is cheaper. Talk about what they're. Then you make your comparison, compare and contrast. 1 is cheaper, 1 is more expensive, but the 1 covers any situation where 2Ds are not very good for complex layout sites. So that's the way I would deal with that. Now, given there's only 2 of you, I still want you to have a first response to another student because I need it to grade with, because these responses have values to them. and it says respond to each other's post. And if you don't have a question, but it says providing an additional perspective or posting follow-up questions. And if you can think of additional information that Dresden or Dylan, you could add to Dresden, do it. To what Dresden has down there, do it. You know, if you don't understand one of the things down there, ask him, you know, what do you mean by that? You know, don't be afraid to let it be a discussion. You know, we're not really, this is not a contest of who knows more. This is like trying to arrive at consensus on a job site with which one of these systems should I choose? You know, where am I going to put my money, even though one is less expensive? You know, is it going to? And now that this is like the way the discussion is right here, and this is your responses to it. And again, let me emphasize, you guys are really good at putting out information. I just can't tell. I'm not going to take the time to sort through and see which one satisfies the first question, which part of this thing satisfies the second question. You're going to do that for me. And all I'm asking is you say one and then answer the question. Two, answer the question. Three, you know, your answers can be the same if they're the same. And then they'd be pretty much close. But let me go ahead and explain a little bit more about why I need you to do this. Let's look at, is this what I want? Let's see. Yeah, this will work. Okay. This is what my speed grader offers me. Now look at this. I don't want to take the time to go through this and figure out, is this your only post? Is it your initial post, or you got anything else to say? I need to I don't want to take the time to decide if this is your initial post, you know. And when I see a first and a second response down here, once you do that second response, I'll know you're through. And so I can grade it, because if you submit it like this, I'm assuming this is all you're going to do. And you're not going to have a first response and a second response. But see over here, I'm trying to tell you, I'm not going to do it. You know, I need 3 responses. And guess what? No one else is going to do it. And I'm also saying both of you guys should be scoring hundreds here. But I can't give you 100 if you can't follow directions. So I'm not going to belabor the point. I'm really hoping I can get this to each of you, because you guys are, you know, you have really good content, but I don't know whether it's satisfying what the tailgate is wanting you to address. So from this point on, give me an initial response, and in this case, answer the 3 questions that the initial response wants you to answer. And number 1, answer 2, answer, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, like I say, I'm going to try to upload this and get it to you, each of you. It'll be the same video that each of you get, but you have a potential to really do well in this course. I want to make sure it's just not technicalities that impede your quality. Okay, that's it for that. No.